Hello everyone, this is Miss Dea and I'm here doing Storytime Club at the Strong Museum in the Dancing Wings Butterfly Garden, and today we're talking about amphibians, particularly our frog friends. So we are going to read 3 books, we're going to act out, we're going to make a little craft, and then you'll meet some frogs at the end. So our first book we have here is Fabulous Frogs. And this is by Martin Jenkins and illustrated by Tim Hopgood. This frog is huge for a frog. These frogs are tiny. Can you see them? There they are. And this one has a very strange nose. It's very long. This frog can, oops, where's that frog going? Jump really far, really quickly. And these ones make an awful lot of noise. Are you ready? Croak, honk, rack, rack, ribbit, chirp. Can you make those noises? This one is called a flying frog, although it can't really fly. And this one is called a hairy frog, although it doesn't have any real hair. See how hairy it looks? I think these frogs are very beautiful. I couldn't tell you which one is the most beautiful, but I can tell you that each one could kill a horse. Though only if the horse was silly enough to try to eat it. Do you think horses eat frogs? I don't think so. These frogs make a nest of foam for their eggs. And the one with the very strange nose looks after its babies in its throat. Interesting. This frog never leaves the water. And this frog can live buried in the ground for years and years, waiting for the rain. Could you imagine staying in your house waiting for the rain? All these frogs are wonderful, but my favorite frog of all is the medium-sized greeny browny one that sits on a lily pad in my backyard pond. The end. All right, so we're going to sing some songs. Are you ready, friends? So get out your 5 fingers because we're going to sing about 5 frogs and put them on your log. Are you ready? 5 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are, how many? 4 green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. 4 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled frog, eating the most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are 3 green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. 3 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are 2 green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. 2 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there is 1 green speckled frog. Glub, glub. 1 green and speckled frog sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. He jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are no green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. Good job, friends. Thank you for singing with me. All right. Our next book we're going to read is called The Big Wide Mouth Frog. So I have a friend here who is a, ready? Wide mouth frog. Can you show me your wide mouth frogs at home? Are you ready? So every time we say wide mouth frog, can you do that with your hands? All right. This is by Anna Martin Laranaga. I hope I said that okay. Once there was a big, wide-mouthed frog with the biggest, widest mouth you ever did see. And one day, that big, wide-mouthed frog hopped off to see the world. The first creature he met had big, thumping feet. Can you do big, thumping feet? Hey you, big, thumping feet. Who are you and what do you eat? Shouted the wide-mouthed frog. I'm a kangaroo, said Kangaroo, and I eat grass. Well, I'm a big, wide-mouthed frog, shouted the wide-mouthed frog, and I eat flies. Do you like flies? The second creature he met had a big black nose. Listen, Mr. Big Nose, who are you and what do you eat? Shouted the wide-mouthed frog. I'm a koala, said Koala, and I eat leaves. Well, I'm a big, wide-mouthed frog, shouted the wide-mouthed frog, and I eat flies. Oh, let's see who we meet next. The third creature he met was hanging upside down. Ho there, upside-down creature. Who are you and what do you eat? Shouted the wide-mouthed frog. I'm a possum, said Possum, and I eat blossoms. Well, I'm a big, wide-mouthed frog, shouted the wide-mouthed frog, and I eat flies. Oh, let's see who we meet next. The fourth creature he met had 3 long toes. Look here, 3 long toes. Who are you and what do you eat? Shouted the wide-mouthed frog. I'm an emu, said Emu, and I eat grasshoppers. Do you like grasshoppers? Well, I'm a big, wide-mouthed frog, shouted the wide-mouthed frog, and I eat flies. Let's see who our next friend is. Then the wide-mouthed frog met a creature stretched out on the riverbank like a knobby brown log. Hey, knobby brown log, who are you and what do you eat? Shouted the wide-mouthed frog. Let's see what he eats. Knobby brown log opened her mouth in a slow, wide, lazy smile. Good day to you too, she said. I'm a crocodile and I eat big, wide-mouthed frogs. Who are you and what do you eat? Me? Whispered the wide-mouthed frog, puckering his mouth into the smallest, narrowest mouth you ever did see. I'm just a small, narrow-mouthed frog, and I'm off. The end. All right, so now we just read about a wide-mouthed frog, and you're going to have a chance to make your own frog at home. So this is made out of a handprint. So you'll see we have a little example here. I just used a small piece of paper. You put your hand on it and you trace your hand. You can draw a little smile, put some fun eyes on there. These are just pieces of paper with a black dot. And then you're gonna want a thin red piece of paper. And you wanna curl it around your finger. And that's gonna get you that nice curly tongue for your frog puppet. Well, it's not a puppet, it's a handprint. All right. We are going to read one more book, friends, and then we're going to meet some frogs with Miss Anna. All right, so our last book is Frogs by Susan Canizares and Daniel Morton. Frogs lay eggs. In the eggs are tadpoles. Tadpoles change and grow, change and grow. Oh, you see how they're getting bigger? Change and grow. I see some legs. Into frogs. Do you see how it still has a little tail? Frogs change and grow. Change and grow. Still pretty smooth. Change and grow. We're getting bumps. And lay eggs. That's a pretty quick book, but it showed you some real frogs, just like we're going to meet in a second.
Hi friends, I'm glad Miss Dea told you so much about frogs. I have a frog to show you today as well, a real live one. So this is a white tree frog. We sometimes call them dumpy tree frogs. And you can see she is bright green. She's such a beautiful little frog. Did you know that frogs actually breathe through their skin? Where do you breathe from? Probably your nose, right? That's where I breathe from. But frogs breathe from their skin. They also drink from their skin. You're never going to see a frog pick up a glass and take a sip of water. Instead, they have drink spots on the backs of their thighs. So if you ever go outside and you're by a pond or a wet area, you might see a little frog like this sitting right in the water all tucked in. And what that frog is probably doing is taking a drink. Our frogs like to eat bugs, so we give them lots of crickets and cockroaches and things like that. Stuff that I probably wouldn't want to eat. All these butterflies flying around my head, we better not let these frogs see those, right? They're going to look at that and say, ooh, tasty meal. Thank you so much for letting me talk a little bit about one of my animal friends today. See you again soon. Bye.